Hi. Yep, I'm back on YouTube. It's me, Jack Desira. So my mate Nathan, Nat Nick, challenged me to post every day for 30 days, starting from today, the 8th of April until the 8th of, what's next month? June, January, February, March, May. 8th of May. Fuck, I don't know dates. What is this? But yeah, anyway, so 8th of April, 8th of May, I gotta post a video every day on anything that's on my mind. If you want to watch more videos like this, go look at Nathan's channel, Mind of Natnik. But yeah, it's basically just gonna be the lessons we learn every day. And then we're just gonna be documenting that for us to look back on, and also it might help you guys as well. Yeah, anyway, we'll just jump straight into it. So the topic of this video is, who are you? I was speaking to one of my friends, Benny Greggs, the other day, and he gave me some really good advice on the very first thing you should do before you start anything. If you want to achieve anything, the first step is getting to really know who you are. So that doesn't mean just, I'm Jack, I'm Spanish, I, live in Australia, I live in Melbourne, blah, blah. It's like, no, not like that. Okay. It's about getting to really know who you are, sort of what triggers you, what motivates you, how you can offer value to the world, what's your gift? Everyone's got a gift, whether you want it or not. With me personally, my favorite thing in the world to do is to connect with people and hear people's stories and interact and share value and inspire people and everything like that. My biggest value for me is community and connecting with people and getting to know different stories and everything like that, which is how I came up with the idea of the podcast. Like the podcast, it's so much bigger than just me, and that's why this is the first business I've ever done where I've put my last name in it. So Desira, I've called it the Desirables. It's because it really means something to me, and it's something I'm going to be doing for a very long time. But back to what I was saying, the most important thing to do is find out who you are. So we're sitting down, I asked him, I was like, Benny, I said, what do you think is the next step for me? Like, if you're in my shoes right now, because he's a pretty accomplished guy. If you're watching this, Benny, congrats. You're a very interesting guy. But yeah, so I asked him, I said, what would you do if you're in my position right now? And he said, he paused, he was like, he did his thinking face, and then he was like, hang on. And then he got up, he went to the bathroom, took a piss, and then he came back and he was like, so the first step is you have to know yourself. And he said the best way to do that is with a personality test. He said, I'll send you some in the morning, and he did. So he sent me through maybe like 4 or 5 personality tests. I did all of them, and he said, just really take your time to read through that and get to know exactly who you are and everything like that, and then you can move forward. And I said, okay, thanks, Benny. And then so I did the personality test, and then I stopped on one in particular which really stood out, which was from I'll link it in the description, but it's called 16 personalities. I'm not sponsored by this or anything, okay, so whatever, it's just what worked for me. Well, they're all sick, but this one specifically had the most information, and it offered it for free. And I was like, holy shit. So I did it. I think it's maybe like 300 questions or something, maybe 100. I don't know, something like that. And at the end, it tells you what type of personality you are. And then it breaks down exactly how to interact with the world based on your personality in a bunch of different aspects. Like, I think the categories were in friendships, in relationships, in work, in learning, and personal growth or something like that. And it was just really tailored to me because they've studied a bunch of people, got a bunch of data, and there's all these different types of personalities, and then they give you information based on the person you are and the little things about you that you didn't even know. Like, for example, one big thing I learned from doing this is that I am, confident and everything like that, outgoing, an extrovert, blah, blah, blah. But fucking, I thrive in chaotic situations. So if something's quiet, whatever, I can't really, my mind starts getting busy if I'm in a quiet place. But if I'm in a loud place, my mind starts getting quiet. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So then I was like, okay. And I was like in shock. And I pulled out my phone and I was like making notes the whole time. When you do this, if you do decide to do this, definitely have your notes out, like write it down or write it on your phone and everything like that. Because really try and internalize this information. And then I really liked it at the end. And then it came up with like, oh, this is only scratching the surface, blah, blah, blah. And it got me, I'm not gonna lie. It said like, we have so much more to tell you. Just like the full version of this report is like $30 or something. So I'm like, oh, whatever, it's $30. We'll just do it. So I ended up paying, got the full version, and oh my God, it is ridiculous. It broke down in those categories I told you, but it just broke it down so much further. And then it has like your personality. It says like when, for example, one of them was like self-esteem. It's like what gives you self-esteem and what fucking takes away from your self-esteem. And then at the end, it gave you like a test that you could do to an activity you can do to like get your self-esteem back like balanced, to rebalance your self-esteem. And I was like, holy shit. And they're like actual deep tasks. And then like one of the tasks, like this is the thing I like about it the most, is that it has these tasks at the end of like each little section. And like one of the tasks was to visualize any idea that you have. And then it was such a simple task, but it's stuff you don't think about, you know? So one of the tasks was sit down and it was like 4 steps. It's basically think about something that you really want to, you know, achieve in. And then with mine, it's content creation. So then I was like, okay. And then it said just something simple. It said, now write down exactly what it would look like once you've like achieved all of this, like to every minute detail. So with me, it's about content creation. So I started writing this whole page on a Word document about like, you know, exactly what my life would look like. So I wake up in the morning, I'm next to the love of my life. You know, I have a massive community of people who are helping make the world a better place. You know, I hold these events and yada, yada, yada. And like, exactly. And then at nighttime at 6 o'clock, I go and do this. And then I was visualizing it as if to the T, like not the little things like, I want to be rich. I want to have a network. Like, no, none of that shit. It was about exactly who I would be if I was living up to my fullest potential. And if I was fully in harmony with who Jack Desira is at his core. And after doing that, everything just shifted into place. And now I can confidently say, I know who I am. I'm Jack Desira, and my number one core value is community and connecting with other people and hearing their stories and everything like that. This community is the most important thing to me. And that's also links with family. Family is so important, and everything's about other people. Life is meaningless if it's, you know, if you're just living it by yourself. Like, what's the point of being a millionaire but you live on an island by yourself? That's the most boring life ever. Like, everything is so much better when you're around other people who make it better. But then obviously that comes with problems because you have to protect your energy, because if you're around negative people or people who are, you know, shouldn't be around you, well, then that starts bringing you down. So a good group of people can change your whole life, and everyone has their own story. Anyway, I'll wrap this up here. Key takeaway from this, go do a personality test. You can do the one I've linked in the description. Like I said, I'm not sponsored, blah, blah, blah. But go do a personality test, really know who you are, pull out your notes and start fucking taking notes while you're doing it. It will change your life. All right, cool. I'll see you again tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and then until the challenge is up, or maybe I'll keep going after the challenge. Who knows? Anyway, this is just episode 1. I'll let you go. Stay sexy. Okay, bye.